You look at his lips that were pouting a little. How can that cold man be so cute when he sleeps, like a baby? You said, smiling while examining his face, but your eyes widen and you quickly move away from him as he said something. Are you trying to seduce me? He opens his eyes slowly and looks at you, still putting his head on table. You gulped. Wasn't he sleeping? You thought. He sits straight looking at you with his same poker face. He repeats the same words. Are you trying to seduce me? Like you did with Tay. Your eyes widened from his words and they were hitting you really bad. How can he think like that about you? He's not insulting you but pointing out his finger on your character. What did you say? You asked, thinking maybe he wanted to say something else, but no. You were wrong as he stands up and walks to you before repeating those disgusting words again. You can't get me, so you seduce my friend. You balled your fists, wanting to punch him. How could you say something like that to me? He chuckles and tilted his head. Why? Am I saying it wrong? You closed your eyes, then opened them again before saying something. You're pointing at my character Jungkook. You tried your best not to let out these words rudely, but couldn't control your anger. How could you say something like that to me? I admit you hate me, always will do, but don't point out to my character. And for your information, he's my friend. He cares about me. A lot is my brother, so misunderstand our friendship. You can insult me as much as you want, but words towards my loyalty. You time you were angry. It's really hurtful than insult. You turn your heels and walks out from his office, not wanting to say anything to this person anymore who maybe won't listen to anyone. Jungkook just stands there in silence, somehow feeling embarrassed. But why would he care if you're loyal to him or not? He doesn't love you and want divorce, right? Loyalty. We will see. In the whole ride with Tay, you didn't say much or look, and that was really making Tay worried. He had tried many times to ask you what happened, or did Jungkook say something? But you just shook your head every time he asked. You don't want to tell him that Jungkook is misunderstanding their friendship, or if he knows, then he will try his best to ignore you. And maybe broke their friendship, and you don't want to lose your only friend. You were still hurt from Jungkook's words. You really want to smack him, but you can't. You really are not like this. You're a good girl, right? You walk inside the living room and saw Mrs. Jung was prepared dinner. You sighed and went to change before helping her. You take out some comfy clothes and walk in the bathroom to get change. After changing, you walk out from the bathroom and was about to go out, but your phone rings. You walk to bed and take your bag before taking out your mobile. A smile quickly covered on your lips when you see the caller ID. Hello Dad. You smile. How's my beautiful daughter? You sit on bed before saying something. I am good, Dad. Here everyone care about me and Mrs. Jung. She's so kind. It's relief to hear that you are happy there. Moments later, talking to your mom and dad, you cut the call and walk out to kitchen. Mrs. Jung, what are you preparing for dinner? You asked as you stand beside her and take the knife to cut the vegetables. She looks at you and smile before saying, like usual. You nod slowly and start to help her. So, how was your first day in office? Did you like there? You smile. Yes, I think everyone is good there. Also, I didn't feel bored or anything, because Tay was with me all the time to give me company. She smiles and pats your back. God bless you, my dear. You just smile and start to prepare dinner. Then Jungkook walks in but stops when he sees you in the kitchen. You also look at him but remove your gaze away from him. He didn't know why, but he didn't like it as he heads to his room. After prepare dinner, you put the bowls on the table. Then Mrs. Jung said something to you. And dear, can you call Jungkook for dinner? You look at her and was about to deny, but when you saw she was busy in some work, so you sighed and walked to his room. You took a deep breath before opening the door and walking in. You look around but he wasn't here. You look at the balcony but he wasn't there too. Then you heard water sound coming from bathroom. He's taking bath. Should I wait or come later? Just wait for a moment and You sigh and stand there, but it would be awkward if he come out from the bathroom and direct see you standing there, so you thought to wait in the balcony and you can take fresh air too while waiting. You close your eyes. You open your eyes when you feel someone's presence behind you. You turn your heels and gasp as you were about to fall, but Jungkook grabs your arm and pulls you to him, making your body hit against his and your head against his chest. You open your eyes and widen them as you saw he wasn't wearing shirt, just towel around his waist. You tried to move away from him, but he pulled you again because you might fall down. Your heart was beating so fast against his. Do you really have a death wish? Your face was flustered. As you can see only his broad chest and nothing, you quickly move side and stand behind him. The dinner is ready. You shuddered, making Jungkook smirk as he turns around and sees your red face that was burning from embarrassment. He hummed, making you quickly turn your heels and rush out as soon as possible. Jungkook looks down and sees a lipstick mark. He tilted his head and an unknown smile covered on his lips without him knowing. You quickly run down, still with your red face. Oh dear, is he coming? You look at her as she walks up to you. Yeah, he's coming. You bite your lips, thinking, why did you shudder? Mrs. Jung looks at your face, making you look away from her and look somewhere else. She smiles, then asks something that made your eyes slightly widen. Why your face is red? Are you sick? You look at her, not knowing what to say. It's so hard to hide that blushing face. I am not sick, Mrs. Jung. I am okay. Did you put everything on table? You quickly walk to the kitchen, escaping from her. She looks at you with smile as you run to the kitchen. She looks cute when she blush. Is it because of him? She smiles before walking to the kitchen. Jungkook walks down and heads to the dining table and sits on his usual chair. You look at him but quickly remove your gaze as he glanced at you. Here, she said as she served food for him. He nods and starts to eat without saying anything. After he finished, he wipes his mouth and stands up to go upstairs, but stops and looks at you as you also did. Come in my room after dinner. You gulp, nodding your head lightly. Then he walks upstairs. Mrs. Jung smiles, looking at your reaction as you were smiling lightly, maybe thinking he starts to change and like you. You walk inside of his room and saw him doing some paperwork. Many thoughts were roaming in your mind. You walk to him. Why did you call me? You call him, making him look up. He smiles and stands up before walking to you. Your heart was beating so fast like it will come out anytime. You wasn't going to lie, but he looks so handsome when he smiles like this. But your heart dropped again as he said something. Are you thinking I start to like you? You frowned, but he tilted his head and said, don't think I saved you from falling, so it's mean I start to like you. I just did it for my mom. If it wasn't for her, then I would have already pushed you down. You feel your tears forming in your eyes, but you didn't let them come out. How could he utter these hurtful words to you? He scoffs and walks to table before picking up some files and handing them to you. Complete them. You take them and turn your heels to go, but he stopped you again. And yes, don't forget one thing, I will never love you. You clinch the papers tightly before walking out from his room. Mrs. Jung was about to sleep and you don't wanted to disturb her, so you came here to complete the files. You put the laptop and files on the table and stand there for a moment while looking them. You sigh heavily, then sit before opening the laptop and pen cap and start to collect the details. After more like 30 minutes later, why you're working here? You flinch on his sudden voice from behind. You back to him. Ash, you scared me, Tay. I thought some ghost came here. He laughed and sit on other chair. Well, Mrs. Jung was sleeping and I don't wanted to disturb her with lights on, so I decided to come here. Here is more comfortable, my mind will be fresh from that cold breeze. Tae smiles and looks at your paperwork, then to your laptop. If you want I can help you. You look at him surprisingly. You really can do paperwork. He nods smiling. Why? You thought I can only do bodyguards thing. I am all-rounder. I can do paperwork, cleaning, cooking and everything. Wow, you're really awesome, Tae. He proudly fixes his collar, making you laugh. Why did you laugh? He pouts, making you laugh more. Why? Nothing, I just find it cute. You're really cute, Tae. You squeeze his cheeks, making him laugh. I now leave my soft cheeks. You leave them and smile. He also smiles. Thank you, Tae. You really are a good friend. You make my all stress and worry vanish like air. He smiles and pats your head. Okay, now help me. I have so much work to do. He nods and they start to do work while laughing and smacking each other while joking. Meanwhile, Jungkook was looking at them with his same cold eyes. He wasn't liking that you're smiling or laughing, or maybe someone else making you smile and laugh and happy and it's not him. But why would he care if you laugh or cry? He doesn't love you at all. Maybe he's jealous. He can't understand what is it. Next day, you walk in company with Tae beside you. As you were heading to your cabin, a girl runs to you with a bright smile on her lips. Mrs. Jun, you're so pretty. You smile awkwardly and look at Tae, who was somewhere else. Thank you, you're also pretty. She gasped, making you and Tae look at her confused. What happened? Did I say something wrong? She shakes her head. It's just no one said that I am pretty. She pouts slightly, making you chuckle. Don't think what people say or not. Just love yourself. She smiles, nodding her head. You're so kind, Mrs. Jun, call me N. I just feel awkward when someone call me Mrs. Jun. She smiles and nods before walking to her desk. You smile and look at Tae, who was already looking at you with a smile on his face, but he quickly looked away and cleared his throat. Let's go. You nod, then they went to your cabin. After you and Tae walk away, Jungkook looks at you with his arms crossed against his chest. As he heard your words when you were talking to the girl, right now his mind was a mess. He couldn't think straight and not even knows what he wants to think, as his mind was filled with you and Tae. Time skip. You were typing something. Tae went somewhere as he said he will come quick. Door knock. Come in. You said without looking up. A guy walk in and close the behind him. He looks at you as you were still busy in your work. He wasn't looking a good guy as he was looking at your legs. He bites his lips and walks to your table. You look up to him. Yes? He quickly changes facial expression from lust to normal as he smiles. Mrs. Jun, I have some problem and I can't understand. No one is telling me because I am new here. He said, making a poor face. You smile. You said him to sit, and he did as you said. Give me the file. He handed you the file and you start to look at it. While you were focused on reading the file, he leans back and looks down to your legs while biting his lips. Okay, he quickly moves his gaze away from your legs and looks up to you. Yeah. You put the file on table and start to tell him what he didn't get. While you were telling, he moves his leg and caresses yours, making you jump in shock. You look at him with your widened eyes. What are you doing? He smiles and shakes his head. You let it go, thinking he accidentally touched your legs, and start to tell him again, but you weren't feeling good because he was looking at you continuously. You flinch as he did it again, but this time you stand up. What do you think you're doing? You said angrily, but he just smiles and licks his lips and stands up before walking to you. You move back. What are you doing? Stop there, don't come near me. You were about to scream, but he covered your mouth. Your tears form in your eyes as you were praying someone come here. Your eyes widen as he tore your dress from your shoulder. You kicked him, but he didn't budge. Meanwhile, Jungkook put the pen down and leans back and rests his head on the chair before closing his eyes. He was still thinking about something, but he wasn't feeling good. He opens his eyes again and opens his laptop before turning on the camera of your cabin. He wants to see what you and Tae were doing. maybe laughing and joking and not focusing on your work, but his eyes widen when he watches what is happening in your cabin. He balled his fists before rushing to your cabin. Yeah, let me go. You were trying your best to push that guy away from you, but door open making you and the guy look at the door. The guy's eyes widen when he sees who is it and he quickly leave you and you rush to Jungkook and stand beside him while your body was trembling. Jungkook looks at you, then his eyes moves to your shoulders where the dress was torn. His blood starts to boil from inside as he balls his fists and looks at the guy who was looking down in fear. Jungkook went to him and grabbed him by his neck, choking him hard before yelling, "How dare you to touch my wife?"